Okay, today we're going to write some code to produce something that you might call a dial or a knob, like the kind that you'd find on an audio equipment. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and we're going to call this knob. And make sure that you go into Sandbox. And let's go ahead and put the name here in comments. Use a hashtag. And I will zoom in a little bit so you can see what I'm up to. And then go ahead and go click on the three bars and they say save as, and you can call this knob 1. Perhaps we'll make others in the future, and then hit save. All right. Let's take a look. The first thing we're going to do is I want this to be a little bit three-dimensional, not too much, but a little bit. We'll start off by making a circle, and we'll put it at 205, 105. I took some time before I started this video to plan out what I thought might look good. Equals dark gray. And then we'll make another circle, and we'll go 200, 100, 30, fill equals light gray. And let's take a quick look and see how that looks. Aha. Okay, so you see what I'm saying? It has kind of a, almost looks like there's a shadow there or a dark side to it. Okay, and let's go ahead and what else? We're going to go ahead and put in a line. Yeah, 225, 100, 230, 100. Let's take a look and see what that looks like. So that's just that line. So, dang it, I can't point without all this stuff going on. I wonder if there's a way to shut that off. Anyways, you can see over here there is a little dash, and that'll be the indicator of where the knob is turned to. Okay, next. We're going to go ahead and this time we're going to do something a little bit different. We're going to have an on-mouse move function, but we're also going to have a helper function. Let's start off with making a helper function. DEF, rotate, KNOB, and then X, Y, and then we'll say if, we'll just do like this. Position dot rotate angle equals X, and we'll start off with that. And then what we'll do is we'll call that from on mouse move. And again, with on mouse move, we need normally we would do like mouse X, mouse Y, but we don't have to do that. I'm just going to put in lowercase x, y. And by the way, in rotate knob, I guess I really didn't need to have both x and y. I'm only using the x. And then what we'll do is we will use the on mouse move to call rotate knob. Now in a minute you'll see why. I mean, obviously I could have just put the position.rotate angle in the on mouse move, but I want to do some extra stuff, and so you'll see that there's some advantage to having a rotate knob function. Rotate knob, and I guess we'll just give it X for now. And then I'll go ahead and hit run. And then I'm going to go ahead, run? Is it going to work? Oh, there's a problem. Rotate angle, name, position. Let's see here. We're going to call this, we're going to give the line a name, position. And we'll call it, and we'll say equals, and then hit run. And now you can already see what's happening, okay? Hopefully you can see. If you look closely at the little line here, what you'll see is that I'm rotating the line, but I want it to make it look like the knob is rotating around, and that line should move with it. So we're going to do something a little tricky here. We're going to make a group, and in the group, we are going to, of course, have this line. We won't forget about that. Control X, Control V. Let's see here. And then we're also going to have another line. I'm going to paste that again. And the second line, I'm going to put at 170, 100, 175, and 100. And then we're going to go ahead and hit run. Now, what you can see is that if you look down there at the knob, what you'll see is that there's two lines, one little dash on the right side, one little dash on the left side. Watch what happens when I move my mouse across the screen. Fancy, huh? I hope you like that effect. I like it a lot. I think it's kind of cool. Okay, now, the thing is that we want to know which line or dash really is the point that we're interested in. And so what we'll do is we'll make the one on the left hand side, we'll just set the opacity equal to 0. I did try to turn visible to false, and for some reason inside the group that didn't do anything. So I ended up just going with opacity equals 0, and watch what happens. I'll hit run, and now you can see, yeah, okay, you can only see one dash, but now I can go and move the mouse back and forth, and you can see it moves around. Now, let me go ahead and get rid of that opacity, because I want to make sure that you're with me on why this works, okay? Again, I'm going to go ahead and have both dashes. I'd like to point out that when the two of those shapes are in a group, when this dash and this dash are in one group, the center of the group is right about here. And when I take this group called position and I change its rotate angle, it rotates about its center, which is why it makes it look like this is a knob that's turning. Now, if I go and I set one side to opacity equals 0, then we get the effect that there's just a knob with one indicator needle that is or indicator mark that is turning. Now, there's a little bit more of a problem, I think. Maybe not. I guess this works okay. The only thing is, let's say that we want to limit the range of the knob, okay? I mean, if you go on a stereo or a car radio and you try changing the volume, sometimes you can't turn the thing all the way. So we might have some limit on how far it goes, and we can do that by converting this mouse X position, which we pass to rotate knob, and then we pass in here, and then we use the mouse X position to set the rotate angle. We could limit that. We could say, hey, instead of making it so that the rotate angle could be anywhere between 0 and 400, what if I limit that? I can do something like times, I'll do, let's do 60, and then divided by 400. This is a little math magic, I believe. Let's see how it works. I'm going to try this. So I'm going to say run, and now what you'll see is even when I move the mouse all the way back and forth across the canvas, I only get a limited bit of motion on the indicator on the knob. Why is that? What I've done is I've essentially multiplied X, which is between 0 and 400. I've multiplied it times some fraction. So I've made it so that whatever rotate angle gets, it is a smaller number than whatever X is. And depending on what fraction I put here, I can decide how far I want it to go. In this case, I want it to go about 60 degrees. And so what I'm doing is I'm converting that 400 into 60 degrees. Let's say that I wanted it to go all the way around one time as I go from the left side to the right side. I could say, instead of 60, I could say 360. And now when I hit run, if you watch closely, what you'll see is as I go from the left side to the right side of the canvas, I get exactly 360 degrees of rotation. As opposed to when I didn't have this fraction multiplying here, I got a little more than 360 degrees. So I'm going to leave that there for now. Now, there is something else that I'd like to do here. And I'm partially doing it because it could be useful, and I'm partially doing it just to demonstrate what I think is some neat ideas with you. I think so far I've mostly been showing you how to do on-mouse move. I want to show you how we can make it so we can move that knob around either with the mouse or with the keyboard. And we're going to go ahead and take advantage of the rotate knob function to help us do that. So let's see how we can do it. First of all, I'm going to go ahead and create a new function called onKeyHold. And I could use onKeyPress, which I believe we learn in Unit 3 or 4. I think onKeyHold comes up in Unit 5. Yeah, Unit 5. And it just makes it so if you hold a key down, it continues to, the computer, the CMU software continues to react to it. So anyways, onKeyHold keys, colon, and then we're going to check to see if write in keys, and if it is, we'll call rotate knob, and we'll do something. For now, I'm gonna, let's see, rotate knob takes a value here, an X, and I'm trying to think what would be the best way to get that value to here. And I'm just going to share with you what I came up with. What I decided is that I want rotate knob to react differently depending on whether I'm using the mouse or the keyboard. So the idea that I came up with is this: is what I'm going to do is in rotate knob, I'm going to accept X, and I'm going to accept another parameter that I'm going to call device. And the device is where I'll figure out whether I'm dealing with a mouse or a keyboard. So I will say if device equal mouse, then we'll use this code. But on the other hand, if device equal keyboard, then we'll do something slightly different with the position. And what we'll do is instead of setting it equal to the keyboard position, because we don't know what the keyboard position is, we're just going to use right and left arrow. We're going to do plus equal some amount that we get from the keyboard, and we'll use X to hold that amount. Okay, now let's see if we got to change, if we we'll have to change the rotate knob call in onMouseMove because we'll need to provide a device in addition to the X value. So we'll say mouse is the device here. And then down here in the rotate knob call, let me go ahead and move this up so you guys can see it easily. In the rotate knob call, I'm going to go ahead and set a number for X. I'm just going to set a value of 5. And then I'm going to provide the device, which is keyboard. And then let's do a similar thing if left. In other words, if we're pressing the left key. Because with the keyboard, it makes a difference whether we're pressing left or right. And we'll check to see if that's in keys. And then we'll set rotate knob. And again, we'll use the value of 5 for the amount we want to move every time a key press is detected. And we'll provide the device as keyboard. And I think this will work. I'm going to go ahead and hit run. And then I'm going to move the mouse so you can see it moving turning the knob. And then I'm going to use the keyboard. I'm going to go to the right, and I'm going to go to the left. Uh-oh. There's a problem. When I go to the left, it's going in the same direction as when I go to the right. So what we're going to do is we're just going to fix this code on the left. Instead of +5, we'll put in -5. And then when we add the X value to rotate angle, it should bring it back the other direction. So let's see what happens here. Do I have the ability? I think I got to zoom out if I want to hit that run button. Let's see if I can do that. There we go. And let's go ahead and hit run. And then I'll move with the mouse. And then I'll go to the right. And notice that it moves very smoothly if I just hold the right key down. That's by virtue of onKeyHold, which is a little more powerful than onKeyPress. Also, let's go and now see if we go to the left. Yep, if we go to the left, we go that way. If we go to the right, we go that way. So now we've got this multi-purpose knob that we could use in all kinds of applications, and we've got the ability to turn it around with the mouse or with the keyboard. And we even used a helper function, and that's something that I wanted to get into your mindset, is that aside from always putting our code in an on mouse move or an on key press function, a lot of times what we'd like to do, especially as we get to larger and larger programs, we like the idea of breaking the code down and putting it into functions, partially for organizing the code and partially so that we can reuse that code over and over again. As you can see, I called rotate knob here and here and here, and I only had to write the code for rotate knob one time. That's one of the big benefits of using functions, reusability of code. Okay, I would love it if you got in there and made this your own and customized this and made it fancy if you could think of something. And by the way, if you're not entirely sure how to make it fancy, you could make it simpler. You could get rid of some of the code that I wrote, just delete it, and just work with in fact, you could go back in the video and just do the on mouse move stuff, and then add your own customization so that it's simpler for you in case it's too confusing how you would fix this. Anyways, that's all I got for you. When you're done, call me over. Let me try it out. I'd like to see what you created.